It is Miguel, Ángel, López, Trujillo.
Almost perfect.
Almost perfect. And you're here with your talk, Kickstart Your Success, Crowdfunding and Investments. A round of applause.
I think I need to use this. Perfect. Hi, I'm Miguel. Okay, you like money? Yes. Okay, so we're going to talk about money. Perfect. They chose the perfect topic. Okay, we're going to talk about crowdfunding. Okay, how many of you are thinking about raising money in the future? Raise your hand. Okay, perfect. So you like money and you want to raise money. Okay, I think I can help you a little bit. Okay, this is me, this is my contact data. Anyway, so why I think I know a little bit of this? Just for you to know me, because probably this is the first time that you met me. I basically work in two things. One, I am a business coach. I work with lots of entrepreneurs, especially for accelerators, business school, the European Union, etc. And I also work in several things. Let me check. For instance, today I bring the hat of being a fundraising coach, a fundraising expert. For instance, I've been working years ago in a crowdfunding platform called Funded by Me from our neighbors in Sweden. And I was the country manager, the Spain country manager. So I had to develop the business right from scratch. And also I've been working in the European Business Angel Association in Brussels. So I met a lot of investors. And another important thing, I am an investor myself. I'm not especially rich, I have some money, but I invested in several startups. And I also invested in Kickstarter deals as well, but in actually most of my angel investments have been through crowdfunding campaigns, because usually the tickets are lower than in the regular venture capital deals. What does it mean? It means that I'm going to share a lot of knowledge. Actually, you don't need to care too much about the PowerPoint, because the PowerPoint is to help me not to forget the key ideas. There's going to be a lot of knowledge, a lot of content in the PowerPoint, but the most important thing is that we're here together. Thanks God, this is not Zoom, this is real life. So let's take advantage of being together. I'm going to highlight what there are, in my opinion, the key points in trying to raise money via crowdfunding. Let's talk about them in the Q&A. And you will have the PowerPoint later, so you can read it on your own. But the key point is that I'm going to give you a little bit, some key ideas that will help you raise money via crowdfunding, okay? And why I'm doing that? Because as it says in the slide, I love helping others. I love money, I love business, I love helping others, so thanks God I'm a coach. Okay? So let's start with today's menu. And today's menu is extremely simple, 3 courses. So first, what is crowdfunding? I suppose everybody knows, but I'm going to give you my own definition. Then why? Why crowdfunding? Because there are several sources out there to get money. You can steal, you can get grants, you can get venture capital, and you can crowdfund, you can work as well. And there is crowdfunding. So why crowdfunding? And finally, how? Okay, so yeah, you convinced me. I want to raise a crowdfunding campaign. How can we do it? Because there is this misunderstanding that goes that, hey, I just go to Kickstarter, I upload whatever shitty PowerPoint, and magically money rains. Life is not like that. Okay, so I will tell you how. So first, let's start with the very basics. What is crowdfunding? So crowdfunding, a definition: fund a project or venture by raising a small amounts of money from a larger number of people, typically via the internet. This is a collection. It's a collect, something which is as old as the world. If some of you are Catholic, in Catholic churches every Sunday, you know, there is a basket which is passed through all the people who is gathering mass, and they give €1, €2, whatever. So that's crowdfunding as well. So this is pretty much the same thing, but we have a fantastic tool which is the internet, and we leverage on the internet in order to find a lot of investors, a lot of retail investors, and also we are able to raise a lot of money with small quantities, and that's where the magic goes. Okay, so you don't need a lot of money in order to become a venture capitalist. Actually, that's a good piece of advice. If you're planning of raising money, my advice is that you also finance another crowdfunding project. Okay, so you can find another company that you like and invest 500, 1,000, etc. That way you will become an investor. So you will understand the trade and you will understand which goes fine, which goes wrong, etc., etc. So if you want to raise money, it's a good idea. Start investing money so you know the game. By the way, I didn't tell you that I am an investor and I lost money. Okay, and I hate losing money with shitty entrepreneurs. So I don't want this to happen to you. And if I make some jokes, etc., blah blah blah, okay, it's just to make this light. However, there is the fact that I have scars in my face, and those scars are because I lost money, and I hate losing money, as I told you. Okay, so these things happen. Okay, crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is raising money via the internet, small quantities, and there are 3 models. Okay, for the gaming industry, you will probably have to choose among one of the first 2 models, which are reward-based. For instance, the most famous platform is Kickstarter, and it's a rewards-based platform. Reward-based means, as the slide says, that backers pledge for non-financial advantages. Okay, so it's a kind of a pre-sale of the game, of whatever other feature within the game. Okay, so the more the backers donate, the more the reward they receive. So this is great for creative projects, and actually it's the biggest market in the world. Okay, then there is the equity model. The equity model is the one close to venture capital. Okay, Seeders, Crowdcube, Funded by Me are platforms that are using that model. In that model, investors invest in exchange for stocks. So you actually become an investor. In the first model, reward, you're supporting and you're getting something in exchange of your money. And that's it. That's the full of story. With the second model, you become an investor. You develop a long-time relationship with the company. Okay? So you get a small stake in the business. Okay? And this is the model used for growth-oriented businesses. Okay? And then there is this third model, just to mention it, which is donation. Donation is basically you give money and you expect nothing in return, which is great for NGOs or for non-profit projects. But we don't care about that because we are for-profit companies. Okay, this is crowdfunding. Are you getting the idea or are you lost so far? Are you following me? Cool, perfect. And now why? Why you should take crowdfunding into consideration? Because there are benefits, lots of benefits. In my opinion, first, money. There's lots of capital out there. This is the world market figures, and basically they're very small, but I will read them for you. Actually, there are around American billions, which are, it's not a European billion, it's $1,000 million. There are 361 billion American billion dollars in the market right now in 2021. Okay, and obviously this market is growing. I've been in this industry for years, and it's growing, and the compounding growth rate is 17%, which is a lot. It's a market that has been growing for more than 10 years. So there's money out there, a lot of money. Second, and very important, actually, money is critical, but also the nice thing about crowdfunding is that it's also a terrific marketing and communication campaign. Because you're in the gaming industry and you want a lot of gamers, you want a lot of people playing with your games. So you need to get an audience. And making, your audience be part of your game by investing in it or by pre-buying it is a great way of marketing your game. Okay? So you get lots of attention. And also from an entrepreneurship point of view, it's also great because if you're familiar with the business model canvas, it also validates 2 critical business hypotheses, which are value proposal and minimum valuable product. Okay? So you test if your game really has traction, and also you check if your game raise any attention at all. Because if nobody wants to finance your project, bad news. Okay? And another detail, crowdfunding, it's also a way to get capital, venture capital. So it's very likely that you will find business angels and venture capitalists that are willing to co-invest. So this is part of a nice funding mix in which grants, clients, crowdfunding, venture capital, business angels, all make sense together. Actually, it's great you make a combination of these sources of revenue, sorry, of those sources of financing, because you will reduce risk among different players. More stuff. After a successful crowdfunding campaign, according to this report from Crowdfunding Capital Advisors, most companies raise their revenue. If you have a successful reward campaign, according to this report, a company usually raises the revenue 24%. And if you raise equity campaign, the amount of revenue that you increase is 351% on a quarterly basis, which is great because the money is used usually to expand the business. Okay, another point is that many companies raise additional venture capital money after a crowdfunding campaign. Okay, so according to this report, 28% of startups raise money from VCs after a successful campaign. This consultancy firm, Crowdfunding Capital Advisors, has calculated the ROI of a successful campaign in 813 euros per 1 hour of work invested in a campaign. It's a nice return. And also you create a lot of jobs, at least 2.2 jobs. So lots of benefits, as I told you. Okay, what else do we have here? Here. Okay, those are the good news. But also there is the dark side. Which is the dark side? First, as I was trying to anticipate you, this is not, let me underline that, this is not easy money. So you will have to work like hell. First, because backers or investors do not activate themselves at all. Okay, so money is not waiting for you to magically appear and okay, it was burning here in my pocket and I just was waiting for you to show up to give it to you. Now, that's not how life works, okay? You need to activate them. And not many people knows how to do it. And actually, as you can see, the statistics show, and you have the sources in the slide, that 80% of campaigns fail. So this is like much venture capital style, very Darwinian, okay? Most fail, so you need to do it right. Second, there are some people, some entrepreneurs who have the impression that this is last resort money. So since I didn't get a grant and since I didn't get any business angels, so I will try to, you know, to approach those less demanding investors, which are, or less demanding people who are the crowdfunders, and I will try to get some money out of them. This is not second division money. It's money as interesting, as important, as valuable, as and VCs and business angels value crowdfunding as seriously as any other source of finance. Okay? So you need to see it not as alternative money. Years ago, it was talked about crowdfunding as an alternative way of financing. This is not alternative. This is a complementary way to finance whatever. Okay? So you can raise money, you can get debt, whatever. Okay, some platforms. Obviously, you need a crowdfunding platform to raise money. So I will try to explain a little bit which are the ones that are more interesting in my opinion. Obviously, the most known one is Kickstarter. I suppose everybody who knows a little bit of crowdfunding knows Kickstarter. Kickstarter is the world leader. Okay, it's amazing, this company. It is a generalist platform, meaning that you can find any kind of creative projects. Video games, board games, but theater plays, books, comics, movies, whatever. Okay, so you are competing against a lot of people all over the world. Here you have the statistics. It is very likely that right now you have at least 100 crowdfunding campaigns about video games live at the moment. So you are competing against 99 more guys. Okay, and the success rate of these campaigns in Kickstarter is in the average, 23%. Okay. So, and they have raised money for 16,000 game campaigns. So that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, something also very important is the reward crowdfunding model that these platforms are using. And in the case of Kickstarter, the model is all or nothing. It means that if you plan to raise 100 100,000, you need to raise at least 100. If you raise 99,100,000, you can gather that money. You didn't reach your goal, so that's the model, all of nothing. Either you reach it or you don't, but you can get the money in between. So you need to be very, very careful with your funding goal, okay? And what else? Well, that's okay for Kickstarter. FIG.co, it's another crowdfunding platform, and this one is exclusive for the gaming industry. So this is one which should interest you a lot. Maybe some of them know this platform. It's got a focus on developers, and also it's got a focus on quality, because this platform is curated, meaning that the editors will choose to list only those projects that have the potential of becoming high-selling titles. Okay, so it's very demanding in order to list your game project there. Okay. Also, their model is very interesting because they mix the reward option and the equity option. Consumers, for sure, back projects, meaning that they can pre-buy the game. But also, investors get a slice of the revenue. Instead of getting equity itself, what they are getting is a right for a share of the revenue. Roughly, if you make the average among projects, it's roughly 18%. So if the game is successful, getting 18% of the revenue, it's a good deal, in my opinion. Okay? And also they have another feature which is very interesting, which is that after the crowdfunding campaign is done, still the project is open to receiving money from backers. Meaning that if you have an extra feature or something additional that you want to add after the crowdfunding campaign is done, you can do it, and you can keep on raising money from your fans. Okay? The model is all of nothing, meaning that, again, you need to raise at least the funding amount that you decide to raise. And another important thing is the fees. The fees in Kickstarter, I didn't tell you, but it's around 10%. 5 the platform, 5 the card processing fee. In the case of FIG.co, it's roughly 2.5%, because the only fee you're paying is the credit card one. Indigo is another generalistic platform, and it's the second biggest platform in the world. It's also specialized in creative projects. It's basically the competitor of Kickstarter. And the main difference is that they are more flexible. Their model is not all of nothing. Their model is all or something. So if you plan 100 and you raise 99, then you can get those 99. Okay? So that's good news. Bad news is that since it's easier to raise money there, obviously, the amounts you can raise are smaller. For instance, the average funding goal that is raised for the gaming industry is around 40,000 euros, which is okay, but it's not very much. And also, you're competing against a lot of people. Also, the fees are high, as you can see, 5–10%. And there is a fourth option, which is interesting, which is doing it yourselves. Having your own crowdfunding platform, or even don't having a crowdfunding platform at all. Basically, you can build your own website, set up some kind of a checkout with different pledges, and basically create a kind of an e-commerce site where you can send all your fans or your audience or your crowd there and directly buy the pledges in your own website. That's something you can do. Okay, you can do it independently. What's the good news? The good news is that you will control the process 100%. However, you will have no exposition with the audience that is already gathered by the Indiegogos, by Figs, by the Kickstarters. Okay? But it's something interesting. And actually, there is some examples that you can Google out there. For instance, I Googled this one, which is this studio, All Cat Games, raised $2 million in Kickstarter, and they also set up their own website, and now they are keep on raising money from the funds that they originally came from Kickstarter. So actually you have the website there, and you can go there and keep on financing these guys. For instance, you can build additional features, additional characters, etc. Okay? So that's an interesting option for you. It's even more complicated, even harder, but you can raise it with your own platform. Okay, so I told you the what, and I tell you the why. Are you following me, or are you sleeping? This is siesta time, eh? So I am Spanish, so I understand that you're sleeping siesta. Okay, are you following me? Okay, 25 minutes, so I think I got a lot of time yet. Okay, so now the how. So yes, I want to raise crowdfunding. Okay, how can we do it? The recipe. So first, okay, let's go big. The big secret. Which is the big secret that nobody knows? Okay, it's called the 30% rule. Which is the 30% rule? It's like this. Stats consistently show that if you raise 30% of your funding goal in 30% of your campaign time, you will have 90% chances of getting 100% of your funding goal. Okay? Obviously, this is not a secret, a big secret. This is known. Okay? And the source is Indigo. But still, if you need to walk out through that door with just one single idea, if you're interested in crowdfunding, that's the idea. The idea is that if you want to raise 100 and you have, say, 100 days to raise it, in the first month, you need to raise at least 33% of it, 33,000 euros, dollars, whatever. Okay? If you don't do it, you won't get enough traction and enough attention from your crowd, not from your crowd, from the platform's crowd to raise the remaining 66%. This is consistent among most crowdfunding projects, most crowdfunding campaigns. So you need to achieve this. Okay? So how can we do that? How can we get this 30% rule? Since I am also a business coach, I love using business model canvas. You know business model canvases? Do you know that? Do you know this? Do you know this tool? Do you? Yeah. So you know that we have, in case you don't know, a business model canvas is a kind of a poster in which in one single view, in a bird's eye view, you have the full panorama of the critical points of your business, which are your value proposal, your clients, how you're going to have a relationship with the client and via which channel, and this will produce you X money. Okay? So this is your business, and your business is supported by some partners, some key activities that you're gonna do. You need some key resources in order to achieve those actions, those activities, and all is paid by this cost structure. Okay? So this tool, which is now is very much common in a startup and even in corporates, it's a great way to have in one single view the critical aspects of your business. And you can use it, you can adapt it for crowdfunding as well. Okay? Usually what we coaches and many teams do is they use posits with different ideas and they move the different ideas in this canvas. Okay? So it's very flexible, it's very useful. So what I suggest you to organize a crowdfunding campaign is using a canvas. Okay, so let's go area per area. Okay, let's go module by module. So let's start with the first one, which is the value proposal. Okay, so first of all, if we're going to have a crowdfunding campaign, we're going to organize a crowdfunding campaign, we need to offer something. Okay, so think about what you're going to offer. So people are looking forward to getting what you're offering. Okay, so here the advice is that either you can sell an idea, you can sell some mock-ups, but the best idea is that if you have the game at least have developed, it's great because you have done part of your work, you can show something real, a minimal viable product, but still you don't need to finish it. Okay, so people don't need to imagine things. They will see the real game. Okay, then think why would somebody support you? And there are several possibilities, as you see in the slide. For instance, if I am a gamer, I need to enjoy your game. So why would I enjoy your game? Second, if I am an investor, I want you to make me rich. So why your game is going to be a terrific business? Okay? Another thing, who are you? Okay, if you're Rovio, I suppose everybody knows Rovio. But if your game is unknown, why should I trust you? So convince me you rock. You're unknown, but fantastic. Another thing, and this is something that especially investors love, which is you're different from something else. So why you are different? Why you are attractive? Because what I want to get from you has to be exclusive. in crowdfunding, exclusivity is one of the things that moves crowds. Okay, and if I am an investor, or I also want to know, because I will invest in your business, why competitors won't be able of getting a share of your business or getting you out of the market. So why you will beat competitors? You need to show me. You will score more goals. Why? Okay. So the bottom line is especially what you have at the bottom of the slide. Why the value I will get by giving you my money will be bigger than the money I will actually give. If I will give you 1,000 euros, I will get much more value than the value I expect for those 1,000 euros. And you have to convince me about that. Okay? So this is for a value proposal. Okay, let me check the time. Okay, time is great. Okay, now the second module, which is the client. Okay, we have this value proposal and somebody else is going to acquire this value proposal. In the case of crowdfunding, you have to choose. If you are going to get backers, people who are going to buy your game, whatever, obviously you need to check that those people are people who will enjoy your game or also want to be an exclusive part of it and expect those persons to support you with tickets that could range between 10 euros and 500 euros. Okay, so the tickets are gonna be small. However, if you choose the equity model, you're looking for investors. So investors, maybe they will like the game or maybe they won't. But what they for sure are looking forward to getting is ROI, return over investment. So a benefit. And to give you a metric, the minimum they will try to get is to multiply their money by 4. Okay, so this is a standard multiple in the venture capital, business angel venture capital industry. Usually they want to multiply it by much more than 4, but at least by 4. What does it mean? It means that if I invest 1,000 euros in your company, I expect magically that 1,000 becomes 4,000 in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Okay, so you need to prove me that you're able to multiply my money. And obviously, since I am an investor, I will invest more money in you. In a crowdfunding campaign, usually tickets ranges between 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, even more. But the typical range is this, okay? Because if tickets are bigger, they are usually regular business angel deals, which are not taken usually over crowdfunding platforms. Sometimes they do, okay? But the point is that you will raise more money, but the money is dedicated to the business, not to pre-buy whatever version of your game you're developing. Okay, so we have the value proposal, we understand the clients, and then we need to have a relationship with the client. Okay, so we have to have several goals with the clients, with the backers or with investors. First, we need to be known by them. Okay, so we need to be known. We need to seduce them, to stimulate them, and to build their loyalty. Okay, this is easier said than done, obviously, but this is what you gotta do. Also, you need, during the crowdfunding campaign, to be of assistance all the time, always available, and the assistance is always customized. Obviously, you can have an FAQ, but if I reach you out by email, by a chat, or I want to meet you in person, you need to give me customized assistance. So I wanna feel special for you, okay? And also, you need to prove that you're ready to deliver. Because if I'm giving you my money for whatever reason, I want you to deliver. So I want the game to be out, plus whatever additional perks you want to develop along with the game. And in the case I want to invest in you, I need an investment story, an investment proposal, and obviously an investment agreement. So the contract I'm gonna sign with you in case I invest in your company. So you need to be ready. Okay? The next module, channels. Okay, so I'm going to have a relationship with the client, with the backers, with investors during the crowdfunding campaign by which channels? Okay, 3. One is the channels that you own. Those channels are your social networks. So if you have, for instance, 10,000 contacts in LinkedIn, that's terrific. Those are your 10,000 contacts. Also, you can organize events such as this one. Okay, so physical events usually work great for crowdfunding campaigns. And also your agenda. I'm sure that you check your WhatsApp, you check your agenda, you check your Gmail agenda, you have lots of contacts. So you can leverage on them in order to start getting traction. Also, you have channels that you need to win. Which are they? Obviously, the crowdfunding platform. That's the most important one. If you go to to Indiegogo, to whatever, you have thousands of people out there. And obviously, their attention is divided among many, many different options. So you need to win their attention. Also, there are influencers out there. YouTubers, Instagrammers, bloggers, the press, okay? So you need to win them as well. And there are also online fora, the Reddit forums, etc. Okay? So you can also relate to those people and try to win their attention. And finally, if you have money to invest, you can hire channels. And one that is working very nicely is Facebook ads. So I'm sure that in Facebook, there will be groups interested in gaming or interested in whatever area. So maybe you can invest in Facebook ads, but they are expensive. They are very effective, but very expensive as well. Okay. Are you following me or are you lost? Okay. It's because there are 9 modules and I'm going by one, so it's easy to get lost. But anyway, okay. Next one, revenue streams. Okay. The money itself. Okay, first, as I told you, decide how much you want to raise. It has to be realistic because remember the all or nothing model of several platforms. Okay? But also it has to be enough so that you have enough money to deliver what you're promising. For instance, you are going to develop the game, or you are going to start, or you are going to develop your business to produce that ROI that investors are expecting. The rule of the third, again, the first 30% of your crowdfunding campaign will always come from your own network. Remember your own network. Let's go back to the channels. Those are the owned channels. The owned channels are my agenda, my social networks, the people I physically meet. Those guys are going to provide you the first 30%. And if you are not able of getting your first 30% from those family, fools, and friends, then forget about doing any crowdfunding at all, because you need this first 30%. Okay? Another thing that you need are attractive funding tiers or funding packages if you're choosing to do a reward campaign. And my recommendation is that you need to have at least 4 tiers. The first one is the cheapest, no barrier to entry. I don't know, 10 euros and you get a t-shirt of the game. 10 euros is nothing. Then the second, which is the standard tier. This is the standard offering. This is the one that most people will get. For instance, game pre-access. Then you will have the standard plus. Maybe the standard is, say, 50 euros. The standard plus is 150. You will get access to the game, pre-access, and a lot of benefits, a lot of extras. And finally, the deluxe. The deluxe is maybe a very small amount of people are going to buy the deluxe one. And it's the most expensive, say 500 euros. But then you get a no-brainer package. It's lots of benefits. The game, the t-shirt, access, something exclusive, and maybe influencing the game. Meaning that, hey, whatever these guys are telling us, the developer team, to do, we will develop it. Okay? Influence. So that's a proposal. But my point is that have this kind of tiers so that depending on the economy of anyone, there is always an option for whatever people. Okay? For whatever person. Another important thing about the stretch goals, they have to be very attractive. Here you find an example, but basically try to, your imagination is the limit. So create features, bonuses, perks, but very important, they will unlock only if a tier is reached. Meaning that, hey, the goal is 100, perfect. If we reach 100, this additional feature is unlocked. If we reach 125, these other features are unlocked. And they will be open for, say, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, whatever. Make a combination of everything. Try to gamify, just to use this word, try to gamify a little bit the crowdfunding campaign by making it attractive to give more money because more things are going to get in exchange of that. And the keys about the revenue streams, as you see in the slide. First, exclusivity, meaning that those perks are only available in the crowdfunding campaign. once the campaign is done, they are gone forever. So either it's now or never. And fulfill what you promise. Don't offer outside the crowdfunding campaign what is offered in the crowdfunding campaign. Okay? Second, they are scarce. Okay, so there is a limited offer per tier. You need to oblige people. This is the classical marketing trick. If something is scarce, you will motivate people to buy without any thinking. And again, the value perceived has to be bigger than the actual price paid. If I pay you $10, 10 euros for a t-shirt, which is the smallest tier, I need to feel that this t-shirt is so good that I would have paid $20, 20 euros for that. So that's what you want to make your audience, your crowd feel. Okay, more modules. Key partners. Key partners are the people who are going to help you reach those 30%. So first, the typical 3 Fs from the venture capital world, which are family, friends, fools, and founders. There is a fourth F. So if your mom, if your friends are not able to invest in you, why can I? Why should I? Okay? So the first traction is from your, say, your love crowd. Then obviously the platform. So you need to seduce the people at the crowdfunding platform. Influencers. You need to befriend them and you need to even pay them if it's necessary. The press, and also maybe you will need service providers. I haven't talked about them because maybe you are lost somehow and you need a consultant. Maybe you need marketing services for the whatever, to organize a party, to approach influencers, to launch Facebook ads, etc. And for sure, if you are going to do an equity campaign, you will need a lawyer because you will need to write a shareholders agreement. And my suggestion is invest in a lawyer. Even though you can copy and paste contracts out there, and there are a lot, get a lawyer. Okay? Key activities, the next module. Okay, this is very important. This is how you will need to launch your crowdfunding campaign. First, 6 months ahead, commit the money from your 3 Fs. Tell your mom, tell your friends, hey, I'm going to launch a campaign in 6 months. Will you invest in me? Yes, yes, yes. In 6 months, you are able to get these pre-arrangements. And at the same time, start building an audience. For instance, if you are in LinkedIn, start posting things in LinkedIn to your crowd saying, hey, I'm going to launch a campaign soon. Do you want to know more? Just give me a call, send me a message, whatever. Start getting some buzz out there. And 1 month ahead of the campaign, the buzz should become excitement. Okay, so you're warming people, and people are getting more and more warm as the launch day approaches. Then, during the first 48 hours, raise at least 20% so that you can go as close as possible to the 30% rule. What does it mean? It means that now you need to call or WhatsApp your friends and your family and say, go to the platform and do invest now. And check that they know how to use the platform. So what's the goal? The goal is that the progress bar should go and move very, very fast. And why do we need this? Because you want the people at the crowdfunding platform who doesn't know you, that this platform, that this campaign is getting, is snowballing. That is, it's selling. You're creating this urgency to invest because it's getting hot. Okay? Then, after those 48 hours, if you raise this 20-30%, keep on communicating like hell. So again, more WhatsApps, more LinkedIn posts, have a party, tell the influencers, and now you have a story to tell, a success story. Wow, in 1 hour we raised this money. In 1 day, we raised 50% of the goal. So keep on spreading the good news. Okay, so make people even hotter. Okay? Another good thing you can do is AMAs. Okay? And throughout the rest of the campaign, keep on with the excitement. Update, add surprises. When you reach a tier in which a surprise is unclocked, tell it, answer questions, be transparent, and very important, try to contact your investors, your backers, especially if they are not part of your network, say thank you and ask them to recommend you to somebody else. Recommendations from people who have already bought is the best way of marketing you can get. So I'm sure you can reach many, many people and ask them, do you have friends interested on this? I would like to meet them. And I will have a special and exclusive surprise for them. More snowballing effect. If you're able of doing that, you will be able to raise your money. Resources, very easy. Your team, yourself, your contacts, your community, the platform's community, the project descriptions. You need a nice project description in the platform. The video is essential. Never ever launch a campaign without a video or without a trailer. People need to see things. And the gaming industry is especially critical for that matter. Okay? We need to see the stuff. We need to enjoy the excitement of the game. Okay? More resources, your own social networks. Start building a network now if you're planning to raise money later. Your consultants, lawyers, service providers, and plan everything. You can start with this PowerPoint and you can expand it later. Have a plan. Don't improvise. This is a lot of work, as I promised. And the cost structure. Okay, how much will this cost? First, your production. Obviously, if you need to produce something or you need to pay your team salaries, okay, you need to pay for that. The platform fee, usually around 5%. The payment gateway fee is usually a credit card. Usually it's around 2.5%. What Visa, Stripe usually charges. What else? Service providers fees. If you need a coach or if you need a marketing expert, they will need to be paid. Whatever commission out there. Taxes. Check your tax legislation, but usually this is capital. This is getting capital as if you were selling something else. So you will need to pay taxes for that. So take that into account. And in case of equity campaigns, you will need lawyers and probably notaries, depending on the country. So you need to pay them as well. Bottom line, if you want to get 1,000 to finance whatever, raise at least 1,015. Because that 15% extra, that's the money you will need to pay for the cost of the campaign. Sometimes it's even more. And that's all I wanted to share with you. So conclusions, and I think we're done. So take me home conclusions. First, this has a potential to raise a lot of money. And that's the reason why I wanted to share this with you. Second, this is very demanding. So it is also a test for yourself and your team. Because you will be developing your game, you will be being an entrepreneur, and at the same time, you will be raising money. And both are full-time jobs. Then, leverage on your existing community, even your friends, before expanding it to a larger community. Or in another way, don't make the rookie mistake, which is, I'm going directly to the crowdfunding platform because I am too shy to ask my friends. No way. Then, prepare 6 months ahead, at least. Remember the 30% rule. Complete part of the game before launching. Choose the right platform, okay? Set the correct funding goal and set the correct price tiers and stretch goals. Create excitement and keep the excitement going. Create hype, spread the good news, launch surprises, and if you do things right, you will be much more attractive than 6 months ago. Because if you approach an investor after raising money via crowdfunding campaign, getting an audience, getting tractions for your game, and if you are delivering something, I'm sure that you will impress investors. Investors like me will be really impressed. So, in a nutshell, what you're going to get with a crowdfunding campaign is money and fans. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much. So we actually have still time for questions. Is there anyone who has any questions? No one? Of course.
Thank you. Sorry guys, I was the first one. But the question is, you said that Facebook ads are very expensive.
Are they? Yeah.
Usually everybody is thinking, and we all have this knowledge, that Facebook ads are not very expensive. They are very affordable. to reach the audience. What is the idea behind what you are saying that Facebook ads are very expensive?
Well, my point is that I was researching Facebook ads to sell an online course, and I mean it depends on the price tier you are targeting, but the investment I would need in order to get say 1,000 coaching deal, it was around 5,000. So I need to invest a lot in, for that price tier. The price tier was 1,000. For games, I suppose it will be cheaper because I suppose a game one costs 1,000 euros. But the point is that at least you need to invest at the very beginning 500 euros just to get an idea about the demographics and the behavior of the audience you want to target. Anyway, with ads, the issue is that you can invest €1 if you want to, but you won't get much information out of that. So that's my experience. Obviously, I'm not an expert in the gaming industry, but I mean, if you plan to raise 100 and if you're going to invest 5,000 in Facebook ads, you need to take into account that amount into your cost structure.
All right, thank you. Any additional questions? Yes.
I have a question about using crowdfunding campaigns for mostly marketing purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking about these campaigns which have a very, very low like initial goal. So they can have the funded in 12 hours or funded in 24 hours sticker on their campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any like kind of best practices for this kind of a campaign as well?
Well, I mean, you have already seen the best practice. It depends on what you want to achieve. If you want to get a crowd as soon as possible with the smallest barrier to entry, that's a good practice. Okay, so you can create excitement. I said it depends on your target. If you are targeting people who are just going to pay 10 euros for your game, that's correct. Another thing is that if you want to build a metaverse and you want people to pay, say, a 25 euro subscription every month. So maybe the goal has to be bigger in that case, because usually what you ask for is what you get. Okay, so it depends on your game, it depends on your target business, it depends on all those things.
All right, thank you. So any additional questions from anyone?
Have any of you financed something via crowdfunding? You're in the gaming industry. Have you backed any project in gaming? Okay, good done. Well done, well done.
Right, I actually have a quick question. So let's imagine an average small indie developer. About the only thing they know about crowdfunding is what you said right now in this one presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought about it and thought, yes, maybe crowdfunding is my thing. What should be their very first step?
Is he alone or is he with a small team?
Let's say he's alone.
Alone, join a team. No, seriously. I am an advocate. Obviously, I like money, I said at the very beginning, but I am an advocate of free work, meaning that, hey, I want to learn. So let's say that I want to work in Rovio. I'm using Rovio all the time because I play the Angry Birds. So why not I tell the Rovio guys, hey, I want to play with you for free for, say, 3 months. Okay, give me the work that nobody wants to do, or I want to deliver value in this, and that. Will you allow me doing this work for you for free? They will probably say yes. Okay? So bad news, you won't get a dime. Good news is that you can choose where and when you work, and you get some experience, and you start getting exposure to persons that maybe will like you and will give you opportunities. So in that specific case, what I will do is joining, for instance, going to Kickstarter or to whatever other platform, and say the guys that are already raising money, hey, I want to join you and work for you for free and help you achieve this goal. They will learn. This guy will start learning things. And maybe, I don't know, maybe he will bring people to his project, or maybe he will decide, alone I will go nowhere. Or maybe this is not the time to develop my project now. I need to bring somebody along with me in the team. But the time is not now, but I need to do something in the meantime. Learn stuff. I will join a team. You know this saying which goes, if you want to go faster, go alone, and if you want to go farther, go with some company. So that's the key.
Right. So that will be it for this talk. And thank you so much. It was actually really entertaining.
Okay,
Thank
you very
you.
much. I'll be around if you are too shy to ask more questions now. Okay? Nice meeting you guys.
Just a second, Miguel. Miguel, I know that for you it was very hard to get here to Latvia. And the reason is why. His wife has a birthday. So, all congratulations, and this is a special present for her.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.